Okay, welcome everybody. This is a webinar organized for Nespon solution. The main topic regarding today is about Agentforce for financial services. The topic about that we're going to discuss is about agent and finance, how to automate, scale, and win with Salesforce Agentforce. Let me introduce our speakers. The main speaker is Albert Cortez is our financial services leader from a whole company. Albert is working right now on EMEA market in a very, very big financial institution in the region. And me, Ivan Hassig, I be part for the sales team on Latin America, and we're going to talk about agents from finance, and we're going to share a couple of experience concept, and I think could be useful. That is the first time that you are looking information about Agentforce on financial services. Let me introduce our company. Nespon Solution is a global consulting company with more than 15 years experience in technology. On Salesforce, we have more than years experience in a different kind of solution. Currently, we are a global reference about implementing industry solutions like financial services, communication cloud, and another third-party solution like field services. Currently, we have partner level. The name is Summit Partner. This is the top of the level on Salesforce Partner Program, and show what is the experience that we have in Salesforce, right? We have a lot of experience, and we cover a different kind of region. We have presence on Latin America. We have a couple of branches in Colombia, Mexico, Argentina, and in U.S. market we have our headquarters on Dallas, and we have presence on the region like Spain, Dubai, Pakistan, and India. The agenda for today, we going to talk about Agentforce overview, describe the main components and the key differentiators for Salesforce into the agentic market, with the key components, technical component, and the industry component. We're going to discuss the top Fins agents for case uses into the current financial services cloud, and then Albert and the pre-sales team prepare a couple of demos to describe how is the best way to adopt this kind of technology. To finish, we're going to discuss about a couple of customer success, and then please Q&A. Okay, Albert, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Well, my name is Albert Cortez, and I will guide you through this webinar. So we know Salesforce is a multi-cloud and have many features for different industries. We're going to focus today with Financial Service Cloud. This cloud is focused on banking and insurance services, and we will see how Agentforce is more than capable to provide huge values to organizations within them. We're all human. Service desk agents are humans, and humans have our limits. We need to eat, we need to rest, we need to sleep. And as part of our biological limits, we also are individuals, social individuals, moreover, who need times to live our life. We want to be efficient with our tasks so we can have time for the real important matters. I don't want to work overtime doing repetitive tasks, filling data fields, trying to create reports based on millions of spreadsheets, going through a pile of emails to understand a client need before that big meeting coming up. So what if we could use the help of an agent that have no such limitations, that can work overtime happily, that will be more than willing to do those repetitive tasks, and is always there to provide a quick and easy answer to our questions, that can be taking actions in real time while I'm talking to my client, taking notes and preparing my summaries as we speak? That is Agentforce, and that is exactly what AI was meant to be. Built on top of the Salesforce platform, it provides a suite of individual agents specialized in specific tasks, up and running 24/7, talking to customers via chat, running tasks, and always ready to provide a hand to the human agents working within the system. It is powered by Data Cloud and always on top of the trust layer. So Agentforce, it's covering all the features that Salesforce platform has, including the customer 360 and all the features we already know. Where the world is moving to. We have all had experience with chatbots at some point. They became very popular tool last few years, but sometimes they were more frustrating than helpful. And we had to go through a series of questions. Press 1 if you want information about your account. Press 2 if you want to formulate a claim. And most of the time, it took more time to go through the bot than the time it could take me just to go to the website and check for myself. That is because chatbots were rule-based, had limited to non-contextual understanding of what's happening, and were ultimately reactive. Then we had co-pilots, or chatbots with AI. They could understand natural language and were very useful for giving quick answers on some topics. Some of them even had the generative capabilities for text and images. But they still had the limitations that were not autonomous. They still require a specific prompt or set of instructions or queries to provide a real value answer. Now we are entering the third wave, the agentic AI. We now have an agent capable of understanding business goals and context with specific skills for an industry that can make autonomous decisions and that can be easily scalable for our needs. It's expected that in the next couple of years, 40% of customer interactions will be done by autonomous agents. And on a personal note, I would say it will take even less time to achieve that number. I think today we still are talking to AI more often than not, and we don't even know about it. Now, let's have an overview of Agentforce for industries. Here, I want to take a minute to highlight that phrase in blue. Humans with agents drive customer success for every industry. And this is the focal point and the main pillar behind Agentforce. AI agents are meant to work with and empower the human agents, not to replace them. There is a common fear floating around that AI would replace humans at some point. I don't see it that way. I see an AI agent assisting and taking all the repetitive and time-consuming tasks of a human agent, giving him or her the time and space to focus on the real important parts, that is dealing with the clients and making appropriate decisions based on accurate data. There is a big difference for a human agent between coming to the office in the morning and having to go through a pile of emails, chats, spreadsheets, and start writing reports and summaries, creating cases and delegating to other teams, and then start working on actual solutions for the customer. And coming into the office, reading the summary done by an AI agent, having the cases created, reports generated, and just focusing on making the right decisions and take the actions needed based on all the information that was already gathered, categorized, and presented in a quick and easy way, along with suggested actions and key items highlighted. We're talking about hours of work being saved and a lot of effort focused on the important things that matter. But what is Agentforce? As mentioned before, it's a set of tools and agents. Within those tools, we have Agent Builder. We cannot just use the pre-built agents that come with the package. We can also create and customize our own agents for specific digital channels and even employees. Agents use the reasoning engine, the retrieval augmented generation, which is what they use to gather just the relevant information, process it, and give back within the relevant context, allowing them to plan ahead and take actions. Agents themselves, and the agents themselves that were already discussed can be autonomous and focus on assisting a human agent in performing tasks efficiently. Now, let's check on some use cases for financial services. Popular cases. We have discussed this, and I've used this word before, summary. Client summary. Summarizes the client profile, includes portfolio, service, tasks, and recommendations. We have an agent capable of going through all this data in split seconds and give me all the information that I need, only the relevant one that I would require to talk to my client. We have an expert agent. We have it's as again quickly find accurate answers on common questions and process and understanding that they do have a context on my business. They can take actions, and that's the big difference between talking about an LLM and an agent. The agent can assist the reps with recommended replies. They can create cases. They can help articles. They can actually do search on the go while I'm already talking to my client on a chat, for example. And again, they have call summaries. All of these summaries are not done just within the chat, not just with emails, not just with text, but also with phone calls. Now we have agents that are able to do the transcription and a sentient analysis on how my client feels and how my client is handling the situation, so my agent can have more information on how to handle it themselves. Everything under a layer of trust and security. Now, how does a service agent work in the banking world? Well, this is how it would typically work. We could have a conversation about a person who lost her credit card, and now she will log into my bank and they will talk to my chatbot. In other ways, in other times, the chatbot will just give a series of instructions to follow, and probably we'll have to delegate that information or that action to an actual agent. In this case, my agent is an expert and he knows and understands the context. And within the conversation, he knows that we're talking about a lost or stolen card. And now, not just that, he will make a plan and then execute upon that plan. The agent itself, in a very autonomous way, can go and look up for an account, check out all the cards, cancel the cards, and even issue the replacement, generating a case and having everything in an audit way so a human agent can review. What's the outcome? The person who came into the bank and just basically gave a little bit of information, probably a little bit more for security-wise, will have a chat telling them, hey, your card has already been canceled. Now you have been assigned a new card digitally, and your physical card will be delivered to you. Now, we're talking about a lot here about this trust layer, because let's be clear, we're talking about banks. So what has happened really? What is this trust layer? Well, the trust layer is basically a set of principles that agents work within. For example, data privacy. There is a zero retention agreement with the external LLMs, meaning whatever data is being inputted into my agent, there is no data stored outside of the Salesforce system. There are grounded responses, and AI agent output are grounded within our CRM, data and business knowledge, improving accuracy and relevance. There's safety guardrails. This is very important. There is a toxicity detection and bias mitigation layer that allows to define guardrails, which are basically just roles and escalation systems. We want my agents to be autonomous, but I want to set some rules to what the level of autonomy is. I don't want my agent, for example, in this case, going up and basically issuing cards left and right if there is no clear scenario where this can be done autonomous. There is auditability. Every AI interaction is being logged and is providing an audit trail for compliance and transparency. There is empowerment and control. teams can use natural language to set these boundaries within agents. So you wouldn't have to have a developer, a programmer, a person who knows exactly how agent works. An agent and a person, basically a service desk person, can tell the agent, please, these are the limitations, these are your boundaries. These critical scenarios should be delegated to a person, not take action on yourself. And basically, the trust layer is essential to the Salesforce approach on AI, ensuring agents can operate securely, ethically, and effectively within your organization. Now, let's see a demo of how an agent actually works in real life. This will be based on what I already discussed about a credit card being lost and how an agent can take the autonomous decision to continue and cancel this card and then generates a case so an agent, a human agent, can review them.
In today's banking world, where speed and security are essential, Agentforce is the smart solution that helps banks transform the way they serve their customers. Let's take a look at Julie Morris's profile. Here we can see her full financial record, and right now she has 2 active credit cards, a Signature and a Platinum. Now, Julie decides to go to the bank's external site, where she wants to cancel one of those cards. To do that, she writes to Agentforce and asks to cancel one of her active cards. Agentforce asks for a second layer of authentication, her phone number, to make sure it's really her. Because we're dealing with a bank, security is key. Julie shares her phone number, and once verified, Agentforce finds her in the system and confirms that she has 2 active cards, Signature and Platinum. Which one would you like to cancel? Julie replies, the Platinum. Agentforce instantly creates a cancellation case and proceeds to cancel the Platinum card automatically. Then we go back to the CRM screen. Now we can see both cards listed, one active, one inactive, just as expected. We also check the case history, and yes, the cancellation case has been created successfully. This gives the bank full traceability and clear tracking of everything the customer does, in real time, securely, and seamlessly. Agentforce is changing the way banks handle customer service by combining speed, security, and automation in one single solution. Are you ready to get started?
Now, let's go back to Ivan so he can tell us some of the success stories related to Agentforce.
Thank you, Albert. Okay. Agentforce is not just AI. It's a productivity engine built for real financial service operation. Let's talk about the real impact. In Argentina, an occupational risk insurance company used Agentforce for finance, right? The main impact was reduced transfer generation time from hours or days to just 11 minutes. Achieve over 69% of the full process automation with no human intervention. Cut 25% of manual workload assigned to transfer to management team. It's an incremental improvement. It's a radical shift in operation and capacity and cost control. In another hand, another region in Mexico, in a digital-first insurance, transform the client service by reducing response time from 1 or 2 days to under 5 minutes from the main partners. Training up 33% for their sales and service advisory capacity, which now focus on high value and strategic interaction, centralizing all the customer data and interaction on a single platform, cutting back calls, emails, and fragmented workflows. The results show that Agentforce is more than automation. It's about to speak to serve, better client experience and retention, scalable growth, more capacity without more headcounts, advisor productivity, letting people focus on relationship, no routine, regulation and peace of mind. Agent operate with defined guardian and compliance logic. And it'll all happen with security, fully aligning with governance and finance regulation framework in this case for this couple of customers in Latam. If in this case if your organization is scaling, if your team are stretching, or if your client expectations are rising, Agentforce is operational edge if you need to stay ahead. Okay,
Q&A. Move to Q&A. We have 2 questions, Ivan, if you want to take them, or let's go.
Okay, let me, I go execute, okay, Oh, there are a couple of questions. First one, can Agentforce integrate with the existing financial service platform like Salesforce or Financials? Albert, do you want to answer the question?
Sure, I can take the first one. Basically, yes, as Agentforce is already part of the Salesforce ecosystem. So Financial Service Cloud being part of the Salesforce ecosystem is already basically ready to be integrated with Agentforce. We can have an upscaling or on any features already present because we're harnessing the power of data within our system. Then the Agentforce will use and act upon it.
Okay, great. Another question. Can Agentforce be customized for different financial products such as insurance?
I can take that too. Yes. One of the tools that are provided by Agentforce is Agent Builder. So even though we already have a few agents already prepared for very specific industry scenarios, Financial Services Cloud is also taking over the insurance features. So Financial Service Cloud and insurance are part of a single cloud. So meaning that we have agents for financial services, they can also take on insurance elements. As mentioned by Ivan, by our success stories, one of those success stories is about an insurance company in Mexico. So yes, that's possible, and basically it's the way to go.
Okay. What distinguishes Agentforce from a traditional CRM platform used in financial services?
I can take that too. Well, the difference is that we have CRM. We have a CRM, so we have a lot of data. And Agentforce is able to harness that data and put it into actions. We are talking about within system workers that are always working 24/7. As long as we have enough data, which is, for example, if we have also data cloud within our system, we will be harnessing information even from outside systems, and then Agentforce can take actions upon it. We are having an assistant worker. Imagine the onboarding process of a new hire on my company. Instead of having to go through a lot of this onboarding process, a couple of months until this person delivers value, we can put him on a system that already has an Agentforce there, an agent that will be helping him throughout the process of even dealing with clients. So it will be giving him topics, it will be responding questions, it will be giving me articles so he can read very specific to the scenario that they're having. So we are basically making one person, I would say, 100% more productive than if it wasn't that.
Okay, Great question here. Is Agentforce training from Spanish? Does it consider two different country-specific characteristics? It's a great question, right? In the Agentforce architecture, use different kind of component like LLM solution, right? In this case, for example, think you're going to use ChatGPT. Don't care what this kind of language that you going to train your LLM model, right? In this case, Salesforce have the advantage to could use different kind of LLM. For example, a couple of customers that today we present is all in Latin American use full Agentforce training on Spanish, right? And I think the main advantage for this kind of solution is not depends the language, right? It depends that the data source that you're going to use to train your agent. In this case, for example, you're going to use RAG technology to try to get feedback about the interaction, and then the model for going to train the Agentforce is going to raise the quantity of data to try to improve any conversation in the future. In this case, the answer it not depends the language. The language could be a restriction when we're going to use a voice data source, but on the roadmap, Salesforce said that it's going to support voice with any kind of language like Spanish. Okay, another question: how well does Agentforce scale for large financial institutions with thousands of agents? Okay, I take this. Currently, in North America, we are working with biggest financial institution for service process with BPO like call center, right? And currently, we are working to try to use or complement the service for the call center with the most used channel like the Q&A channels, and I think is the first phase to going to use the virtual agent, the Agentforce on this kind of process. We are talking about for example, in a Colombia financial service institution, around 200 agents, virtual agents from service from the commercial banking institution on the main requirement like Q&A or cancel or dispute some transactions. Okay, there are a couple of more questions. Can Agentforce create a report, banking statement, etc., without CRM's input? Customer sensitive information, multiple customer verification protocols are customer verification protocols are customizable in the Agentforce. You want to respond? Could be Ezequiel or Albert.
Ezequiel, if you want to jump in.
Yeah, sorry, I really have a bad connection. But if I understand well the questions, Agentforce right now can't create reports or dashboards. Agentforce help us to have all the information together, but right now an agent needs to create all these kind of reports. And I don't remember the second part of the question, Ivan, if you can repeat it again.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, and the main topic regarding this question is about to multiple customer verification protocol, a customizable on Agentforce to generate a report with information with outside to Salesforce.
Okay, as I said, right now, Agentforce doesn't have the capability to create reports, but yes, we can create all these customer protocols inside Agentforce, and Agentforce can deal with this kind of information.
Okay. Okay, I think no more question in our Q&A. I don't know, Albert or Ezequiel, do you want to share a typical question that our customer asks?
Well, I think
it's really nice to mention that right now one of the main topics or one of the main issues is how we test the agents, because the testing on the agent is really tricky, and the customers right now are asking us a lot about how we deal with the testing. And it's good to mention that Salesforce released a testing capability inside Agentforce, so we can automatically create the test cases and automatically run this kind of test, because at the beginning it was a big pain how to test the agents. Right now we have a tool and it's really easy to test, and it's good to mention that we have this capability for all of you.
Great. Okay. We're going to close with a couple of conclusions about our webinar. The first one is AI agents are transforming the financial service industry. We are no longer thinking about the future potential. Agentforce is already reducing wait times, freeing up advisors, and automating complex tasks in bank and insurance across a lot of financial institutions. Agentforce is built for business outcome, no experimentation. Whether it's onboarding, claims, portfolio summary, or compliance, Agentforce is designed with a real industry logic and integrates securely into your existing operation. Human plus agent is the future of the work in finance. Agentforce doesn't replace advisors, it empowers them. It lets the human focus on strategy, empathy, and trust, while the agent take care of the repetitive and the rules-based work. You don't start. Your company don't start from scratch. Agentforce is ready today with more than around 100 industry-specific use cases are fast to deployment, and you can activate intelligent agents quickly and scale as your company needs. Okay, next step. I think to take advantage from the price for this webinar, this free AI health check. Explore additional use case that tailor it in your institution, and schedule a one-to-one session with our Nespon expert about this topic to access to find opportunity into your company. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of Nespon, Salesforce, and our speaker Albert, thank you for be part for this conversation or this webinar. The future of digital labor in finance has already begun, and you are leading up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.